The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Texas's 14th district, the vice chair of the subcommittee, for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Wright, we're delighted to have you here. Texas has a little bit of energy in it, you might have gathered, so thank you for that. On March 11th, 2026, President Donald Trump authorized the Department of Energy, DOE, to release 172 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. I'm the upper Gulf Coast of Texas. We start the Louisiana border, come down on the curve all the way to Matagorda County. We've got 7 ports. 60% of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is in my district, okay? So he authorized the release of 172 million barrels from the SPR as part of the IEA collective drawdown. A portion of that drawdown has taken place in Bryan Mound, that's the name of the SPR, that portion in Brazoria County, which sits directly in my district. Now, can you tell us, Mr. Secretary, how much oil has been sold to date? I don't know if you have those figures or not. And can you confirm how much more we expect to sell?
I think in our original round, we sold 42 million barrels, and we just had another one that sold like 26. So we've probably sold about 70 of the 172 million barrels that will be sold.
Okay.
And sorry, Congressman, if I can correct myself, we're not selling the barrels, we're trading the barrels. We're putting barrels into the marketplace now because the marketplaces need them, and all these deals are structured as swaps. So we get that oil back late next year. The first tranche, we get 1.2 barrels back for every 1 barrel we released. In our last deals, we got 1.25 barrels back for every 1 barrel we release. So at the end of next year, we'll have more oil in the SPR than when we started these releases.
Well, Texas is going to help with that, trust me.
Yes, you are.
Additionally, because it is in the interest of the federal government to be good financial stewards of the SPR, and I don't mean to be picky, but can you tell us what authority the DOE has to authorize that oil to be replaced? Is it just authority from the White House to conduct this?
No, we are the managers of the strategic, it's like the Federal Energy Act. I'm sorry, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the exact authority, but we are the managers of the SPR, and we are members of the International Energy Agency. We coordinated not just our release, but with 30 other countries.
Right. Well, I'm glad to hear we're going to get the twofer, that you described, so that's good news. As you know, on March, well, let me do it this way. As you know, the traditional oil market is global, making price shocks unavoidable. However, we have seen a relatively stable stability in the U.S. natural gas market. Can you explain why the U.S. natural gas prices have largely been basically unaffected by the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, complete with the Iran, it used to be at that helm?
You bet. And natural gas recently is now just passing oil as the largest energy source in the United States for consumption. Those two energy sources give 72% of U.S. energy, so they're the big two. Natural gas, we have just immense reserves in this country and immense production capacity. So to export it, you have to cool it and build these large LNG export terminals. We run those at capacity. So even though we are expanding our capacity, so we'll export more and more LNG, but the domestic gas consumers in the United States are pretty much completely isolated from this rising price. Well, the price of natural gas is less than 40 cents a diesel equivalent gallon today.
You're describing exactly what I'm hitting at. On March 30th, 2026, Golden Pass LNG, a company that operates in my congressional district over by Beaumont, achieved its first production of LNG, which represents a major step forward toward fulfilling President Trump's goal of American independence. Companies like these provide thousands of direct jobs and billions of dollars back into our community. So how can we assure that economic opportunities like Golden Pass LNG coming online boosts LNG exports, at the same time benefiting local communities like those in my congressional district? Plans to make that even better for us, Mr. Secretary?
Absolutely. I visited a number of LNG export facilities. It is the fastest growing U.S. export. I think it will soon be the largest export from the United States of America's natural gas. It's the fastest growing energy source on the planet. Yeah. The future of natural gas is dramatic. Okay, we need to build these facilities to export it.
Let me break real quick at 30 seconds. I'd like to quickly go back to the SPR. Part of the rationale for drawing down the SPR is because we're experiencing an energy shortage. The president put in a 60-day withhold on the Jones Act. I'm sure you're familiar with that. So We would like to know what safeguards we're going to get put in place so that we can make sure that the integrity of the Jones Act stays in place.
They're restricted to only energy products as well. And frankly, what the waiver on the Jones Act is to get states like California that have made themselves an energy island so they can still get fuel during this crisis. The great energy sources from
And
your
I'm
region.
sorry to
can-
interrupt, but the gentleman's time has expired.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.